4 people on.
Wow, we're growing.
Episode, yeah.
And we want to welcome Johnathan Hill to the Monkey Barrel.
Good to be here.
Yay!
Hey.
And the Hoffman's already trimming his nails, I guess.
It warmed up.
All right. Well, go ahead.
So we have Johnathan Hill on. He does the bad bill. I did legislative affairs in the Libertarian Party last year with Steve, and that was our main source of information. And I saw you just had your first one for the session come out the other day, Johnathan.
Yeah, that's correct. I published the first one this past Monday, and going to be starting on next week's later this afternoon.
Oh, beautiful. Do you go through manually, reading through everything that's moving?
Yeah. So it's probably worth mentioning because I think sometimes some people miss this aspect. I specifically focus my work only to cover the bills that are actually in progress. So anything that's moving, we get thousands and thousands of bills filed in South Carolina, and most of them never see the light of day. Why should any of us bother spending any time or brain power on any of those? So I focus on the bills that are getting committee hearings. So that's where I start. I look at all the committee hearing agendas, and then also look at what's scheduled on the House and Senate floor. And
how much
and then
duct
I rate
tape?
those.
How much duct tape do you have in your house to keep your head from exploding with this? This is, I mean, good Lord, man.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, 8 years in office, really, I noticed and this aging is probably part of this too, to be honest, but definitely did a number on memory retention. I mean, I have to look things up on a regular basis, more so than when I was younger. But you get used to it, and you at least remember where to look to find the stuff that you need.
Well, that's cool, but you've got to have like this little sadomasochistic streak in you to keep going through this exercise. Yeah.
So there are thousands and thousands of pieces of legislation that are just waiting to be heard by our legislature. Have you ever seen a piece of legislation that is going to rescind massive regulations or legislation coming out of our South Carolina legislature? Has there ever been anything like that?
I have occasionally seen a bill that repeals a current law, but generally speaking, when those things come up and pass without much fuss, it's because it's an old law that no one that isn't even relevant anymore, or that no one is paying attention to or following anymore. So. So, occasionally you'll see stuff like that.
So the archaic stuff kind of drifts through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of those, when I did this with Steve last year, I saw they introduced something like 4,000 or 5,000 a year, and then something like maybe 1,700 pass every year.
That sounds right. That 1,700 is actually less than what it sounds like, because a big portion of the 1,700 are not even legally binding. They're just, congratulatory resolutions. Constituent turned 100 and you pass a resolution congratulating them, something like that.
Yeah. Well, and Steve was talking with the rest of us off air before we got on, and we were number 4 in the country, the South Carolina on on both income tax and sales tax.
So it's second highest for the top rate income tax. Only West Virginia's higher by 0.1%, and then the sales tax, it's the 4th or 5th highest. So Tennessee and Texas are 2 of them, which have no income tax. But South Carolina has the second highest top marginal income tax rate. Plus, it's in the top 5 for sales taxes, and it's the 3rd worst debt to GDP.
Well, wait a minute. And you didn't mention Florida. So that means Florida with no income tax has also lower.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yeah.
But we need these high taxes.
And remember too. I mean, that's just looking at state sales taxes. It is not uncommon for towns in South Carolina to add 2 or even 3% to that. So I was at a restaurant the other day in a tiny town called Iva, which is next door to where I live, and at the bottom of their restaurant menu, they had this notice that said prices do not include 9% sales tax.
Wow.
9% in a tiny town of Iva, South Carolina. So, I mean, that's seriously way too high.
In Myrtle Beach at a restaurant, you'll pay 11% sales tax.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just 10%. The other penny is just the penny tax.
Just a penny.
the penny tax that it was supposed to be in sundown, 4 years ago?
Yeah. But we need these high taxes in South Carolina to maintain our status as having the best roads in the country.
And education.
Well, I picked out 5 of the bills from your last list, and I noticed one of the first ones you described as the blue-collar income tax hike. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is the main income tax proposal they have so far, is just to play around with the brackets and increase the rates on the working class, basically.
Yeah, that's correct. The thing that has flabbergasted me about that bill is that if you were going to lower a tax rate, you would expect a bill that simply just straightforwardly lowers the rate. I mean, it could do it all at once. It could do it phased in over time. Either way, you just take the rate that's currently there and you lower it, period. End of story.
Yeah.
Whoever's paying now pays less. What they've done is totally reinvented the tax structure and called that a tax cut. And it's not a tax cut for a lot of people. It's actually a tax hike.
Yeah. Well, but if you call it a tax hike, people wouldn't. People would get upset for your representative for voting for it. So of course you call it a tax
people
cut.
might actually notice what you're doing.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why most bills are named ironically. Like the Affordable Care Act. It's neither affordable nor do you get any care.
Well, that's last year. Andrew Strait, I don't know if he was in activism. He just said it was good old boy strike again because it was basically this same bill, if I remember right, introduced last year. Is there any chance that they'll have any comprehensive bill that just across the board lowers the rate so where it's more competitive for the South?
I have no doubt that similar bills have been filed, and the current bill could be amended to do something like that. One would hope that the Senate will erase what the House did in that bill and come up with their own version of it that is straightforward and actually a meaningful tax cut for people that are currently paying taxes. We'll see what they do.
I mean, they might as well just do a direct charge on power drills and steel toe boots. Just get over with it.
Yeah.
Just, flip the whole blue collar class off.
Evidently.
Well, that is an issue with our current sales tax. I mean, I believe in a sales tax regime where the rate is as low as possible and as broad based as possible, but we actually exempt more sales tax revenue than we collect.
Oh man, that is.
We do.
So you can selectively choose who's going to have the savings.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go hire your lobbyist to go and get your product exempt from sales tax or something like that. I mean, a lot of that has happened. So, what we should do if we want the economy to thrive in South Carolina is common sense. But no one ever claimed that common sense is what prevails in Columbia. But eliminate those exemptions and then cut the rate.
Is there a main block in the State House that's blocking a across-the-board income tax cut?
Well, so we have a top-down structure of control within the State House. There is some of that in the Senate, but it's less pronounced. There's a little bit more independence that individual senators can exercise. But the Speaker of the House appoints all the members of the committees, and by doing so, he also controls who gets to be the committee chairman. Committee chairman gets to control what bill comes up in committee, and and they all work together to make sure that no bill that hasn't gone through committee comes to the House floor, unless it's a bill that they like. So the that you've got that top-down process, and then those people that are in those powerful positions that control that top-down process, so your committee chairman and your Speaker of the House and your majority leader and so forth, go and look who's donating money to them and to the Republican caucus. That will answer your question. Yeah. That will answer all of your questions right there.
Well, I was going to ask you too, now that Leatherman, who used to be kind of the grand poobah of all of this power structure in South Carolina, has stepped aside, has anybody filled that vacuum, or is it just kind of, I don't know, a group or a committee of these power brokers that have kind of jumped in?
Triumvirate.
Yeah.
Well, there's always going to be someone, right? And whether they have the reputation of their predecessor, or whether they have a heavy hand or not, is something that remains to be seen. Those kinds of reputations develop over time. But right now you've got, I believe it's Senator Alexander is the president of the Senate, and Harvey Peeler is the finance chair, and Luke Rankin is still the judiciary chair. Those are, without a doubt, the three most powerful figures in the Senate, and among the most powerful figures in South Carolina, even more so than the governor, actually, which is a whole nother issue.
And Luke has always been a very good Democrat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke Rankin, yeah.
Yeah, his Republican chairman Luke Rankin is one of the best Democrats the Democrats have in South Carolina.
Absolutely.
Kind of like Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, yes. I agree with you on that, too.
From my perspective, our only hope is to grow the size of the Freedom Caucus in South Carolina. However, I think we need to say a few words about the closed primary legislation that's before the South Carolina legislature, especially the alternative one that, to me, would destroy the Freedom Caucus. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, great question. And that's one of the bills that I included on this week's bad bill sheet. I think I dubbed it the Incumbent Protection Act. It does a bunch of things in the name of closing the primaries. Some of them have to do with closing the primaries and some don't. Historically, what we've meant by closing the primaries would simply be to have each registered voter, declare their party affiliation. They can choose Republican, they can choose Democrat, they can choose unaffiliated. Presumably, they could also choose third parties as well. And that would go on their voter record. That would help campaigns, by the way. Candidates would know not to bother, voters that aren't going to be voting in the primary. It would make it easier to target your message to the appropriate people. So that would be a huge boon to have registration by party. And then to close the primaries would basically say that if you've registered as a Republican, you are allowed to vote in the Republican primary. You are not allowed to vote in the Democrat primary or any other party primary, and vice versa. Registered Democrats would not be allowed to vote in Republican primaries. That would be a welcome change, and that's usually all we mean when we say closing the primaries. What Drew McKissick and the current SCGOV chairman and his lackey, Representative Brandon Newton, who tends to be the one that files all of Drew McKissick's bills that he wants passed, what they've done in this bill is to go way beyond merely registration by party and closing the primaries for voters. They've also attempted to deny ballot access to anyone who has not been voting in Republican primaries. And there's a variety of reasons for that. Maybe you just turned 18 and this is the first time you're voting.
Yeah.
This would deny potentially 18-year-olds the opportunity to run. Now there is an escape valve in the bill, and I've kind of been personally going back and forth on how I feel about this provision, but let's make no mistake, he's going way beyond registration by party, and he's actually trying to control ballot access, which is actually the first time in recent memory that any Republican chairman has tried to do that. Previous attempts have all been shot down. I remember back during the Tea Party days, there was talk of trying to control ballot access, and the chairman at the time, Chad Connolly, was a staunch opponent of that and claimed that it was actually illegal to do so in South Carolina, and the courts would strike it down and so forth and so on. So I think it it's an open question. What role do we want the parties to play? What role do we trust the parties to play, which is a question unto itself. And and how do we make the parties relevant, or should they be relevant in South Carolina? Because quite frankly, they're not relevant right now.
Right.
So the people decide who the nominees are, and the party functions are pretty much ceremonial.
Well, speaking of that, Johnathan, have you heard of a lady, Dr. Casey Whitener, before?
I'm not familiar with that name.
Okay. If you have a chance to, just go to a website called Casey with a K, CaseySouthCarolina.com, and then you'll have Casey on the issues. Because more than likely, Lindsey Graham is going to get, again, the Republican nod for South Carolina to run for his seat again. I know that he does have some challengers, but I think a lot of people are really tired of it. And she might be a very good alternative, but the only problem is getting her name and so on out there. But yeah, this might be something of interest to you. Just go.
Yeah, it might be. I'm certainly on the lookout for any alternative, because I will not be pulling the lever for Lindsey Graham in the general election. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, and it's CaseySouthCarolina.com. And just Casey Whitener for Senate 2026 is that. And our listeners, I hope they have a chance to look at that. And then I'll call you back and revisit, see what you think about what she says on the issues. I know that a lot of people, when they put out their campaign websites, they really try to bury something like that, or they'll have something extremely generic on there, like, we support puppies and love. So, real controversial, cutting edge kind of stuff that they put out there.
So I'm getting questions.
Everything's written in code in politics. When you see, I believe in puppies and love, what you should actually interpret that to mean is, I love whoever gives me money in politics, and will do what they say.
It's true. After they visit Pedophile Island. Yeah.
What are you saying, Steve?
So I'm getting questions from a lot of my contacts that the current closed primary legislation would also require the state GOP to approve candidates who are in the primaries. Is that true or false?
So, so I mentioned that there was an escape valve included in the Drew McKissick, Brandon Newton bill, and that's what this is referencing. So what it says is that if you haven't voted in the last two party primaries, which would require you to be a registered voter for at least 2 cycles and to have voted in the Republican primary for those cycles, if you haven't done that, then you wouldn't be eligible to run for office as a Republican, unless the party gets together and says you can. So that's the escape valve. So it's not a definitive you're off the ballot. It's a question mark where the party gets to actually decide. And so again, that goes to the question: what do we want? What powers do we want the party to have, if any, and what powers do we trust them to actually faithfully execute?
Yeah.
What do you see
so
coming?
if the SCGOP were living up to its stated mission of, advancing the party platform and electing candidates that support it, that might be a good thing. Yeah. But, that hasn't been their history.
Well, Johnathan, I want to invite you into the rest of the Monkey Barrel. We're going to be having a few other topics, and we want you to jump in at any time. And some of these are kind of topical that have been put through. What do you got for us?
One other quick bill I want to ask him about before we jump back in.
Okay.
I saw a DHEC restructuring, some 90,000 page bill.
That's crazy.
Are these, like, as it moves through the chambers and it's on standing committees and everything, is there any ranking of, like, who's introducing it, who's endorsing it, like the probability of them, what to give attention to, basically? because there was regulating e-cigarettes, the DHEC restructuring, social media lawfare, government loans to green buildings. There's so many of these nasty bills that get pushed through, and it's early still. But
on the bad bill sheet, I tend to list them in the order in which they appear on the agendas chronologically.
Okay,
And so they will shift around based on that. To the DHEC restructuring bill, I mean, if you do a search and replace of all the times that, DHEC shows up in state law and needs to be changed to some other state agency, it will be thousands and thousands of times, no doubt about it. So in one sense, it's understandable that the bill is so long, but the problem is they started including policy changes as well in the bill and burying those amongst all those other changes. So you can't just say it's a bill that, cleans up state law based on, the restructuring of the agencies that's happened recently. It actually goes beyond that. And so it's really dangerous and destructive to have a bill that's that long.
Hey, do you get any heat from the State House? Like establishment Republicans get irritated with your bad bill list, or any indirect threats or comments?
Or putting dog poop in flaming bags on your front
voodoo
porch.
dolls?
So they know not to mess with me. If they mess with me, I will immediately go public on them. But yes, they do get irritated with you guys and with state legislators anytime they bring up talking points. And I do from time to time hear legislators directly addressing talking points that I have put out.
Everybody gets irritated with us guys. I thought.
Yeah, we just provoke.
Yeah.
Well, some of the national topics, I had a list of basically, we talked about this the other day, the Trump credit card 10% cap.
Ugh.
Now, I guess it's starting the 20th. It's going to be for 1 year. They already have credit card companies coming out saying it will, we're just going to throttle credit, basically.
So if you're struggling and you're trying to start out and you say, it would really help if I had that emergency credit card, but I have crappy credit and everything else, they're going to take that opportunity away from you so that other people can make sure that they don't have to be wary of what their credit card rate is on their current card.
Yeah, well, this is like classic Bastiat unintended consequences. It's like capping mortgages at 1% or something.
I know. It's just, once again, Trump kind of eases into his New York Democrat mentality of the people are too stupid to see what their credit card rate is, so I have to help them by forcing it down.
But it's not just the credit card cap. Whenever the government interferes with the marketplace, unintended consequences will occur, and most of them are not pretty.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
A 10% cap, the banks aren't going to get nicer.
No.
They're going to throttle everything and get a lot meaner. It's probably especially to lower income who use credit
And I think
cards.
it's already happening. I don't think you have to wait for this to go into effect, whatever Trump is trying to do here, which is, by the way, questionable whether he has the authority to do that. I'm already seeing credit cards, existing cards actually, where they come back and update your credit limit and drop it drastically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw in the
Experienced
news
that
they're
firsthand.
already, it's a chilling effect already.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, another one when we were talking about the U.S. national debt earlier. So there's a government shutdown extension of $174 billion Massey had on his Twitter that I guess they already passed it. It's on going to his desk now.
Well, I mean,
we're hitting the snooze alarm on the debt again.
Did anybody in this group have any real true negative effects when we went through the longest federal government shutdown in our history?
It was beautiful, except Jeff couldn't get flights to the convention.
A little anarchy is a beautiful thing.
Says Hoffman's wife in the bedroom.
But really, the federal government, they're raising the debt ceiling and stuff. But look at South Carolina. The South Carolina budget is going through the roof. The last two sessions, they've gone out of their way to skyrocket the budget for South Carolina. They hired 500 additional government employees in South Carolina 2 sessions ago, and the last session they hired an additional 600 employees. So we've got nothing on the federal government. I mean, South Carolina's doing a great job of raising our debt ceiling and setting the scene for future high taxes.
Well, it's 120% GDP, debt to GDP. That's higher than the average in Europe, higher than France, higher than Canada, the UK, Germany.
And we don't even get the cheese. That's the.
And by the way, all this is in a state where we actually do have a balanced budget constitutional requirement. So Congress doesn't have that, but South Carolina has that, and that hasn't stopped our budget from ballooning out of control.
That is wild.
Well, it's unplug the smoke alarm.
Yeah, basically.
That's a good point. So as you increase expenses, eventually you're going to have to raise taxes to have a balanced budget. No?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
One funny thing Trump did, though, was he had a little Ford auto worker incident during
Would he
a
run
walkthrough.
them over or shoot them?
Well, he did like Twitter Live. He just got in a debate and then flipped him off. Guess it was just like muscle memory or brand consistency.
I didn't hear about
You didn't
that.
see that on the news?
No.
Oh, some guy was heckling him, I think, about the Epstein files, and he just flipped him off on live TV.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like tweeting in person.
It's kind of like Johnathan Hill going to the grocery store.
That's how, you deal with Lou Rankin and the...
Yeah, that's how we do it in the upstate, he says. Yeah.
Before I go, the other 2 topics were RFK and the food pyramid. We didn't talk about that last
The
time.
inverted food pyramid.
He's basically, I think it's like the Mediterranean diet with like a touch of Waffle House on the upper left there. Just a little bacon grease out in the middle.
I like how they said, well, we're going to allow you to have some alcohol in here because it is the social lubricant. Of course, Hoffman was sitting there saying, more social lubricant.
More CBD.
I'll tell you what, I'm all for politicians drinking. Let them,
Yeah.
let them drink up. That's the only honest politician would be a drunk politician. That's when you find out what's really happening.
Yeah, we can hear the coherent speech of like Nancy Pelosi and
I don't know if Nancy May should get any drunker.
yeah.
Well, she is a good example that alcohol will keep you living longer.
It's like having Bill Clinton on my cigar podcast.
Winds up with the honest point.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What did you see? Mattel put out a new Barbie.
Mattel put out a new Barbie.
Yeah, an autistic Barbie.
Oh, I was about to ask if it was a dude.
They're getting there.
So Barbie's on the spectrum. Is that it?
I guess so. It has no eye contact. It looks to the side. It has noise canceling headphones, and it carries a fidget spinner on the actual Barbie. And it's basically everyone who stumbles into our monthly libertarian meeting. I guess they also have an iPad.
Yeah.
So I guess that can also, she can just argue online. Like all of us.
All I have to say about that is definitely not Kmart. Definitely not Kmart.
It sounds like Jeff and Darren's exes. I mean,
Yeah. There's been. Oh, if you saw our monthly meetings, it gets a little. I don't know how we get anything done with half of the.
well, I mean, libertarian. This is a libertarian meeting. Old business, new business, monkey business.
Oh, yeah.
We give new meaning to the word agenda.
when you were in the State House, when did they pass that balanced budget amendment?
Oh, that's been on the law for who knows how long. It's in the Constitution. So, yeah, the last Constitution was passed in 1895. It's been amended many times since then.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Well, I guess we're hitting right at the 30-minute mark.
We're at the 30-minute mark.
I got the, got the signal.
Well, Johnathan, I want to thank you for being here in the Monkey Barrel with us today.
Absolutely.
I hope this isn't going to be the last time we get to hear from you.
Well, it brings new meaning to more fun than a barrel monkey.
There you go. I don't know. If Hoffman hasn't scared you off by now, then yeah, we're in good shape.
I'm a subscriber to his Substack.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Keep up the good work.
I think from the beginning.
Oh, as a matter of fact, Johnathan, before we end today's show, give us all the information so other people can join in on your Substack.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to receive my weekly newsletters via email, or if you have the Substack app, you can get push notifications. You can follow my work and subscribe at readingscbills.substack.com. You can go there and that'll get you subscribed. readingscbills.substack.com, and it is free. There are some options for you to support the work financially if you wish to, and there will be perks in the future for those who do so. But the basic weekly newsletter is free for anyone that wants to follow along.
Oh, fantastic.
We're all subscribed, and it's the gold standard we use in the LP. Oh, you have to throw in a Stone Cold.
Yeah, wait a minute here. He's got to hear the Stone Cold.
We're getting the soundboard figured out.
Yeah.
We have at least 7 clips of Stone Cold on here.
We should anyway. Yeah.
We'll get it.
Whoops. Here we go.
Technical difficulty.
This is the this is the one we guys have for Hoffman here on this.
You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
I really appreciate it, Johnathan. It's great to meet you and talk to you for the first time, and we hope to have you back on.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Happy to come on anytime.
Oh, fantastic. Well, everybody, if you have a chance to get into that Substack, get in with Johnathan, listen to our other podcast on Liberty Crack Media Network with Conversations with the Hoff, and check in on our webpage, libertycrackmedia.com. And everybody have a great week. Take care.
No need for hey, we're the microphone monkeys. People say we're anarchist flunkies, but we're too busy being free. Hey, we're the microphone monkeys. No red